Hi, how are you?
Hi, Nick. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Thanks for being here today.
Of
Um,
course.
so we'll get started. So The Witches. I mean, I love the original. I was a super fan, but I think I love the remake more. So I have to ask, what initially drew you to the project?
Honestly, the original film and the original source material, the book.
Mhm.
Um, Growing up in a household where we couldn't really afford to go to a lot of shows or things, books are a gift because you can imagine. And then to see the movie, and I was in college when it came out, and then hearing they were remaking it and they were interested in me for it, I was like, why would they remake that? And then I talked to Robert Zemeckis on the phone, and I heard about Guillermo del Toro and Octavia and Anne. I'm like, okay. And then I found out how they were going to reimagine it because why mess with something so good? But they did it. They did it so beautifully. He reimagined it, in my opinion. It's still fun and spooky and creepy and all that stuff. But visually, today, what we can do, we couldn't do then. And it's the witches for, I'm not going to say 2020, but I'm going to say it's the witches for today. And also, I love Octavia's role. I mean, Anne is perfect in every way, but Octavia brings in the heart of the film. And that really, when I saw it, I was so pleased. I so was proud to be involved.
I have to agree. I mean, Octavia's performance was amazing. I mean, your performance, everyone's performance was amazing. But speaking of Robert Zemeckis, the legend, for whom voice acting is a tool he frequently employs in his films, what was it like working with him? Like any tips, like what it was like in pre-production and moving on?
Well, he called me on the telephone and he was talking to me about the part. And I was like, what's your backstory? Like, I mean, there's no transformation. What happens? Da, da, da. We spent a good 30, 45 minutes on the phone. And by the end, I was like, I'm so in. Like, I'm in. And also, I was a little nervous. I wanted to deliver, and I still have that part of me that I want the director to be happy. And I can't help it. That's just who I am. But when all the equipment, I had to do my part during the pandemic. So I did mine in my closet in New York City. And I covered up my closet with blankets and towels to deaden it. And they sent all this equipment, no kidding, computer, mic, iPad, so that the animators could watch me and hopefully be inspired for Daisy. And Zemeckis and I could communicate. And I was actually horrified at first, but you know what? It was actually kind of fun. We figured out a way to do it. I got to see her being developed, and they got to see me how I saw her, which you see in the film. And can you believe I did that in my closet? Crazy.
That is so crazy. I couldn't even like imagine doing that. But I guess that's 2020 and that's what we're doing right now. But moving on to the character you played, Daisy, she's a tiny mouse with a big personality. What is she like? What traits did you infuse into her to bring her to life through your voice? Did you pull from any past characters, any people you know?
Try really hard. I mean, obviously, I like her. So even if the character, and I've played many villains too, so I always got to figure out how I'm going to make that villain likable, which is what Anne does so well in this film. You got to love to hate her. Otherwise, we don't care. So I have to figure out and I don't like to repeat myself. I'm obviously from the South, so the accent wasn't a problem. But I don't really like mice. And I never thought of them that way. And then I started thinking about her feistiness and her fire and drawing on me as a younger person and being told, no, you can't go to New York. It's, scary there. And me going, I'm going. And I got this. I kind of drew from like when I moved to New York, actually, when the movie came out in 1990. I remembered like what that was like. So I kind of went from my past a little bit and I borrowed from some other characters that aren't mine that shall remain nameless. But yeah, I think she's lovable and furry. And I wore my little faux fur white jacket in my closet and went to town.
I love that. Why do you think this story is so timeless and appeals to both kids and their parents? It appealed to me when I was younger and the first one came out, but I think it definitely also appeals to me today as well. So, do you have any thoughts on that?
It has two themes that are very fun to play and fun to entertain, which are temptation and courage. Two themes I really like. The temptation of being lured by a witch or a seemingly wonderful lady with candy. As a kid who can't, I mean, I'm an adult, I can still understand. But being lured, being trapped or tricked, we've all had that, even in just life, just, you know, maybe a relationship or whatever. And then the courage that it takes and by Octavia's character to, and honestly the mice, to go on their journey, to get out, to be safe, to be saved, to be okay. I think we all need to feel that we're okay right now. And we're okay with how we look, how we feel, who we are, no matter big or small, whatever size, color, shape, creed, religion, we're all okay.
I love that. That's a great message. Well, that's all I have for today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I really enjoyed the film, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Talk soon. Bye.